I love democracy.
I am not a committee!
Order! We shall have order!
I was not elected to watch my people suffer and die while you discuss this invasion in a committee.
My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
This is outrageous! I object! Order!
Okay, then, the vote has happened for the greatest lightsaber duel, and we're now going into the countdown. If you agree with these, let us know. If you don't agree, hit us up on We Are Generation Skywalker on Facebook. But let's get down to the countdown. Revenge of the Sith, Yoda versus Sidious. Daniel.
It is the culmination of the prequel trilogy, the light side versus the dark. Fantastic battle. Like I said when I went through, I thought this is a great one.
I have waited a long time for this moment, my little green friend.
A New Hope, Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader. Ian.
Well, it's your first time, isn't it? At the time, it was just stunning, and none of us knew what was going to come next. And the shock of Obi-Wan's sacrifice.
Yeah, I think that sacrifice is vital, and I think everything we've seen since just heightens that actual battle. A very important duel, the first one we ever saw.
Your powers are weak, old man.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
The Last Jedi, Rey and Kylo versus the Praetorian Guards. Jez.
I know what I have to do. That's what he says. It's not technically a lightsaber duel, but it's a great battle with lightsabers.
You think you can turn him? Pathetic child. I cannot be betrayed. I cannot be beaten. I see his mind. I see his every intent. Yes, I see him turning the lightsaber to strike true. And now, foolish child, he ignites it and kills his true enemy.
We just had no idea when we saw this. I see him turning his lightsaber to strike true, and now, foolish child, he ignites it and kills his true enemy. Snoke's dead. What? And then the lightsaber being force pulled horizontally towards Kylo Ren, and Rey just grabs it, and you just see the two of them looking at each other while 6 Praetorian guards rush towards them with the music, the way in which it's been so beautifully orchestrated. It's a really, really well stylized battle. 2 versus 6 is definitely up there. It's a highlight for me. One of the highlights of the sequels.
7.
We're going to The Force Awakens now. Rey versus Kylo. Jez?
So yeah, we've seen the broadsword, Kylo's broadsword there. Initially it starts with Ren versus Finn, doesn't it? And you see Finn getting hurt, and the lightsaber goes flying across. So you've got those beautiful sounds of the lightsaber just extinguishing thanks to Ben Burt, digitalized by Matt Wood. And then you just see Kylo Ren just trying to force pull it. And you're like, yeah, okay, it's going to him. As an audience, we've kind of forgotten about Rey. And then we see the lightsaber flying towards Kylo Ren, straight past him. He has to move, and it goes straight into the hand of a completely confused Rey. With the haunting Star Wars music in the background. That's Star Wars. They have a fight. It goes on for about 3 minutes or so. What it starts off though is absolutely with Kylo Ren with the upper hand, even though he's been really badly injured by the blaster earlier on. But then there's an epiphany moment. There's a connection when Rey tries to summon the Force. She almost sort of meditates. She then gets his connection, and he sees it. And then from there, he's on the back foot. and then they are separated by obviously that sort of crazy planet, sort of starting to have a few Earth tremors and everything. But it's the whole way in which it's constructed. I loved it. Really, really good battle.
That lightsaber, it belongs to me. Come get it.
Also like that, I mean, they didn't give too much away to Force Awakens, did it? We all thought that Finn was going to be the Force user. All we saw was lightsaber in his hand, wasn't it? Glowing white. It was threw us on the wrong course there. But nicely done.
6.
Attack of the Clones. We have got Anakin and Kenobi versus Count Dooku. Dan.
This one really illustrates how unsynchronized Anakin and Obi-Wan are when you look at how Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon team up against Darth Maul. They all goes to pot in this battle, and they both get taken out. Very different lightsaber battle to what we've seen before in Star Wars. Very stylistic with I think at one point Anakin outs the lights and they're fighting just with the lights of the blades. I don't know whether that was to cover up Count Dooku or the age of Christopher Lee, but it's a very stylistic fight.
Yeah, I think it showed just how far they still needed to go and how strong Dooku was.
You're gonna pay for all the Jedi that you killed today, Dooku.
We'll take him together. You're going slowly on the left.
Taking him now!
No, Anakin, no! No! As you see, my Jedi powers are far beyond yours. Now, back down.
I don't think so.
Okay then, so 10 down to 6 there. We've just seen Yoda versus Sidious from Revenge of the Sith. Number 9 was Obi-Wan and Vader, the very first ever lightsaber fight. The Last Jedi, Rey and Kylo versus the Praetorians in 8. The Force Awakens, Rey v Kylo in 7. And 6, Attack of the Clones, Anakin and Kenobi taking on Dooku. But what has made the top 5? I will say these 5 were far and above the rest of the pack.
5.
From the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, it is that final fight between Obi-Wan and Vader.
Have you come to destroy me, Obi-Wan?
I will do what I must.
Then you will die.
Well, it's the payoff, isn't it? You've sat through 5 episodes waiting for this long rumoured match off again, and it's just a great use of force powers. Some things that we've really not seen utilised before. Like all the rocks throwing around and the pushes and that vicious slash that Obi-Wan does that breaks Vader's mask and reveals Anakin beneath. And then you've got the great emotional goodbye from Obi-Wan at the end. Just brought the series to a really great ending.
Beautiful, beautiful scene.
Anakin.
Anakin's gone. I am what remains.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anakin. For all of it.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.
Coming over to you, Jez. It is Return of the Jedi's fight between Luke and Vader.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, we'll talk about this afterwards, Jez.
Oh my goodness.
You cannot hide forever, Luke.
I will not fight you.
Give yourself to the dark side. It is the only way you can save your friends.
Right, okay. What a fight. This is true passion, true control, loss of control, mirroring. The way in which this is constructed, it's a wonderful fight. Ultimately, Luke recognizing that he's becoming Vader. He recognizes the fact that Vader to the Emperor is just a disposable commodity, because as soon as Luke starts, getting the upper hand against Vader, the Emperor's like, good, use your aggression. And then when Luke is smashing into him and you see Vader lose his hands, and Luke has this sort of, there's so much said without words. And that's the beauty of Star Wars. We see this throughout so many of the different movies. There is so much said. And we as cinema goers and fans, we understand, we get it completely. I will not fight you, Father, is one of the most powerful things Luke can say. So to me, that fight is just up there. John Williams' decision to add voices, to add a chorus to that battle as well, just upping the tension.
Good. Your hate has made you powerful. Now, fulfill your destiny and take your father's place at my side.
It's such a great part of Return of the Jedi. I'm really surprised that it's not in the top 3. But there we go. That's Star Wars for you, isn't it? We're all fans and we all like different things. But for me, Battle of Jedi is just that's it.
Totally with you on that. There's so many great moments in that battle, and it is that massive conclusion to what we've been watching for 6 years. Right, number 3 then. What is in the top 3 and what order? I'm pretty sure we'll all be able to guess what's in the top 3 from this point.
3.
Dan, I'm coming to you. We're going over to Revenge of the Sith with Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so whilst Yoda's slugging it out with Sidious, Obi-Wan and Anakin are going at it on Mustafa.
You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Don't lecture me, Obi-Wan. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
I remember reading the original novelization back in whatever year that was, and there's an extended piece around Obi-Wan and Luke's conversation on Dagobah, and he describes Vader being horribly burnt and kind of set all kinds of imaginings off in your head, and actually getting to see it finally wasn't a disappointment. And it's tragic at the end. Obviously Anakin gets burnt up and tells Obi-Wan he hates him, and Obi-Wan says he loves him. But a great battle on a great backdrop. Epic.
It's a bit like our soul relationship, isn't it, Dan? I love you, Daniel. You're my brother. You, I hate you. It's very similar. Great scene and a great moment, a touching moment.
2.
Dan, coming back to you, it is the Phantom Menace. It's Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul.
We'll handle this.
We'll take the long way.
So I think, after 16 years of waiting for new Star Wars, this is what everyone wanted. More lightsaber battles, and it didn't disappoint. It's probably, a lot of people would argue, the best aspect of the film, the best scenes in the film. And it's a great battle. I love the bit after Qui-Gon's been taken out, and you can almost see Ewan. He's limbering up, he's jumping behind that little force screen, and he just comes screaming into Darth Maul, and it's a fantastic piece of choreography, probably some of the best in any of the films.
Yeah, but the piece of music as well, I think that's as good as it gets with Star Wars. I think there's been some amazing pieces, but what a piece of music. Gets me very, very excited. Dan and Ian have won it on this one.
You have learned much, young one.
You'll find I'm full of surprises.
ESB Luke v. Vader. Ian, why is this number one? Tell me what makes this moment so special.
Well, it's just simply the greatest fight of all time in the greatest movie of all time. Luke finally showing us he's an absolute badass. For most of Empire, he's fairly benign, and then we get to this fight, and he really shows his stuff. It's just a complete upping of the ante from the first Star Wars. That fight's fairly pedestrian, but this is just on another level. Luke just takes such a brutal beating. He's bloody, he's torn, loses his hand, and then, of course, that mega shock at the end, the reveal of Vader as his father. Doesn't come any better.
No. It's not true. That's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
It is a pivotal moment. The father, the hand, the start of him turning into Vader, like we just mentioned with the Return of the Jedi scene. It is up there. So that is our top 5 then. So 5 is the Obi-Wan and Vader fight from the end of Kenobi, a very recent piece of Star Wars television. Number 4, Return of the Jedi, Luke v. Vader. Number 3, Revenge of the Sith, Anakin v. Obi-Wan. 2, The Phantom Menace, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn versus Darth Maul. And our number 1 at Generation Skywalker is the battle in Empire Strikes Back, Luke versus Vader. The I am your father moment. That is Generation Skywalker's countdown. And do you agree? Do you not agree? Head over to We Are Generation Skywalker and get involved in the chat and tell us what you think should have been in there or what you think that order should have been. And of course, check out our other social media, Instagram and Twitter, where there's so much going on image-wise from all our other shows. Check out our website, www.generationskywalker.com, where you'll find links to everything we do. And of course, if you want to be part of the committee, you can email us at generationskywalker@gmail.com. But that is November's edition of the committee. It is goodbye from Dan.
Cheerio.
It's goodbye from Jez.
See you next time.
And Ian, a massive thank you. I'd love you to come back for December's show.
Certainly will.
We're on. Thank you and good night, Ian.
Goodbye.
And it is good night from me. We're Generation Skywalker. All eras, all passions, all Star Wars.